I learned that just because you put out beautiful, positive, illuminating, stardust, gold dust, amazing energy, that it doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how loving you are, how kind you are, how motivating you are, how inspiring you are. It doesn't matter to those who will always reject it. It matters to those who receive it, but it does not matter to those who do not want it. I have selfishly, blindly allowed myself to think that I can save others through love, and it doesn't quite work like that if individuals already have made their mind up about you. It's it's like it doesn't matter what your ideas of unity and family and community, if they're so decided already that you are not worthy. And I also learned that it does not matter what they perceive or think about you, because God chose you. So I asked myself, I'm like, was this a mission that was just failed because it was a need of thinking that I wasn't trying to change someone, but more so trying to show them that they are worthy of love. Like, show them that they are worthy of community, show them that they are worthy of connection. But I also learned that people wear masks, and they honestly, they already decided who they are. They've already made that choice that they want accolades, they want to be immortalized, they want constant attention, they want to literally pour out chaos, they want to make sure that there's no peace, that there's no serenity, that there is nothing but havoc every day, all day long. And it doesn't matter how much you come in with peace and love and enlightenment and all that beautifulness that embodies within that auric energy. It does not matter, because they've already decided which side that they chose to be on. The whole point was to get you to give up on your faith, to give up on your mission, to give up on believing that love is the strongest and most powerful energy that it is, that there is. The whole point was to be a time dweller, like to waste your time, to make you feel like all of these defeats were to make it show that you are inadequate of ever feeling that love that God pours down into you, that source amazing energy, like to make it seem as if you are nothing, because they are projecting. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it took me forever to see this. I'm like, I don't enter the scene with combative energy. I don't show up at the round table with chaos and drama. I don't enter into anyone's home with negativity. Like, I feel it. It's like a train, like a a wedding train. Like, it's so long and it follows me wherever I go. It doesn't matter. Like, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it's like, it doesn't matter where I show up, if it's in a digital space or if it's in a real time, real life situation space. I embody that energy. That energy's been on me, in me, within me, through me since I was a child. And I'm now seeing that this whole little gang of entities consistently go out their way to try to waste these beautiful, amazing children of light time, try to lead them into confusion, try to make them feel like they are insane, try to do any and everything that they can to go against what was already given to them when they got down here. And what's like bananas about it is that they already knew what the assignment was. They already knew what you were. They already knew how you showed up. They been knew before you even came into this realm. They already knew. Like, they had the timeline. They have everything set up to know how to stop you in order to make sure that you do not complete what is needed to be complete, but you still yourself kind of don't know. But in the same sense, you got a little bit of understanding. But now I get it. If you came down here with like all of your cheat codes and able to like literally play the game of life and know what to do as soon as you got down here, you wouldn't learn anything. You wouldn't be equipped for the next mission in the next lifetime. Like, you just wouldn't know. It's like now that you get a sense of understanding, like, okay, something's wrong here. Like, this isn't adding up correctly. And it's simply because of the fact that they have the cheat codes, but they're stuck. Imagine it's the playoffs and or the Super Bowl, or whichever way you want to put it, and the other team has the cheat codes, but they always still seem to lose. You know, like, it's deep, because you feel a sense of, you know that you're going to win, because you know that you've been prepped for this. You know that it's in you, within you, through you, all on you, whatever. Like, you know. But in the same sense, it's like, because you think that you think that you think that you know, but then you think that you might not know. But then it's like, you know you that good, but in the same sense, you don't want to be on some tooting your horn, but you know what's in you. But then you asking yourself, like, yo, I literally sat at the gate. Like, what did they say? He sat at the gate. His name was Beautiful. Like, I sat at the gate waiting for you. Like I can't hold the door open because you got to be on the list. But I got off the line to get inside. I said, I'm gonna sit over here and wait for you to show up, and we can go in together. And now I see that you wasted your own time by thinking that these individuals, because of the love that you have for them, you just assumed that they would have that same love back in return for you. But they had already made their choice before they even got down here. Like, they already decided that they were going to be your enemy since day one. And it's like, it's just bananas, because it's like he says, like, I knew you before you knew yourself. Like, so he already knew what your heart posture was. And then you see that you place it surrounded by relatives and individuals and friends, and you're like, wait a minute. They only really wanted to be around you because they wanted to be secluded in that glow, because that glow is protection. Because they know that they made their choice, and they know if you're not around, they got to deal with all of that pain, all of that trauma, all of that guilt, all of that comes at them. Because, see, God equipped you to make sure that you can take those blows. He equipped you to make sure that you can take all of those fiery darts and arrows at your back, at your head, at your feet, wherever. But they don't have the armor on. So they out here like a tadpole. And you, like, big body spirit of a frog, and you just sit in the pond, just vibrating out amazing, beautiful, loving energy, healing energy. And they just out here because they so quick, because they don't want to do the work. So they so quick to rush. They're so quick to find a way to try to run through so that they can be able to receive a reward. And they don't care how they receive that reward. If they got to steal that reward, which is what they choose to do all the time. Their whole network of stealing people's light, stealing people's destiny, stealing, which actually, now I think about it, you can't really steal that. You could try to swap it, but it's like, at the end of the day, God sees everything, so everything gets resetted back to them having to go back down to that same path again. Because if you were able to fully swap somebody's destiny or steal it from them, then you wouldn't have to keep going and finding other light beings in order to steal from. So evidently, when you rush to do negative stuff and you go out your way to cause trauma and horrible just backfire for others, then you place yourself in a position to have to deal with that karma coming back to you. Because once God sees, like, let's look over here. Let's go back a few years. Okay, in this date on that month, you did this. Nope, let's reset that. Now this has to come right back to you. Because if you're able to steal someone's rewards, if you're able to come in and steal somebody's spiritual treasures, if you're able to come in and steal somebody's spiritual inheritance, then you wouldn't need to keep going and stealing. You'll be fine. You'll be set. And that's the thing. Everything has to be under-detected. Everything has to be finding a way to come together, accumulate. Let's go on and use new devices in order to come at these individuals. But you can't. It's like they fight so much in the spirit. They fight so much in any other which way realm they can in order to try to steal information. And it's like, how you think you can pull one over on God? You can ride out for a little bit, but you're never going to make it through the sunset. Because you're going to get caught every time. Because he already knew you before you knew yourself. So even when he's able to check the heart postures of those whose heart is so loving and just full of unconditional love, and they know no bounds when it comes to that, at the end of the day, he knows those who do not have the correct heart posture. He knows those who are scheming and scamming in order to get into the gates. And he knows those who will sit and wait because they just assume that because the way that they love them, that they love them in return. I had to see, I had to physically see it and spiritually see envy in so many forms. And I kept saying like, yo, why am I receiving so many setbacks? But then it's like, they're not setbacks. He's sitting me down because he wants me to see that I will not give you your treasure. I will not give you your spiritual inheritance. I will not give you your rewards because they are only around to take from you. And as much as you have unconditional love and you're just crazy when it comes to forgiveness, at the end of the day, I know you because you're my child, and I knew you before you knew yourself that this was going to happen. And I knew that you were going to have to experience some really tough situations and some real trials and tribulations and some real pain in order for you to walk away from those that you truly love. Because I know that you would do the most honorable thing, which you have done on numerous accounts for them, which is to lay your life down for them. So, with that being said, don't be so critical on yourself when you can actually take the time out to look back and see that there were so many individuals conjuring up together in order to stop you from achieving what God had already ordained for you. And it sucks, but in the same sense, you wouldn't be who you are today if you wasn't able to go through that boot camp. You know, if you wasn't able to go through all of these trials and tribulations, if you wasn't able to still be able to embody love when those who you love most and dear are going out their way to cut you at the hem. And all I kept hearing this morning was, if they hated Jesus, what makes you think that like you know like come on, they're not. And I'm just like, what if God does his own vetting of who can get in, you know? Like, and I know like the kingdom is within, but it's like what if, you know, like he already knew, but it's like he gives you an opportunity to see for yourself what he already has seen. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a parent. Like, they're not going to really tell you like, oh, that's not your friend, but they're going to let you see on your own that that's not your friend. And then when you come back and you're like the prodigal son or daughter, you're like, but I thought that this was, and they're like, no, it wasn't, but it's okay. Like, you're home now. It's okay. But all of this leads to maturity and also a great deal of leadership. And that's also what I heard this morning. Like, how can I trust you to lead if you can't even stand up for yourself? So you got to be able to protect yourself as well and stand up for yourself as well. I learned a lot through the thickness of the pain and the sadness and the trials and tribulation. I learned a lot. Well, I love you. Bye.